Hello, good evening, and welcome to BCL Beyond the Boundary again with myself, Simon Booth. I'm delighted to have Astley Bridge's Dave Cryer with me this evening. Hi, Dave.
Hi, Booth. You all right?
Yeah, very well, mate. Thank you very much for taking a bit of time out to speak to us.
No problem.
Obviously, you're a representative of Astley Bridge Cricket Club, sporting your club colours, I see.
Yeah.
Very good.
Some sponsorship.
Bit of sponsorship on there as well. Happy days. So we'll dive straight in if that's all right. Obviously, the first thing I've asked everybody to do is to introduce themselves. People won't know me from Adam. They won't know you from Adam. So the idea is I just want you to introduce yourself, who you are, a bit about your own sort of playing career, even though I know you're only a young lad, and your involvement at Astley Bridge.
Like Booby said, Dave Cryer, 29 now. I've played at Bridge for over 20 years. Since I was about 6. First team since I was about 16, so probably coming up to 13th season maybe. I've been captain for the last 3. Stepped down in the winter for a number of reasons, but mainly I don't think I can do the aggressive opening bowler role as well as the calm, collective head. I can't keep getting banned as captain for mouthing off. Yasser's taking over. But like I said, just general role. My dad's chairman. My mum is heavily involved as well. I'm still playing every week in first team, but yeah, not captain anymore.
Brilliant. Thanks for that, Dave.
No worries.
Again, the questions will be very similar to most people, because the idea of this is to get your club's perspective and your perspective rather than, everyone's been different. We've had some fantastic interviews so far, and some good positive stuff has come out as well. So first things first, in terms of Astley Bridge Cricket Club and the 2020 season, what were your club's plans in terms of players, any sort of club improvements that you've done, and anything within your social calendars which has been affected by the current situation?
In terms of club improvements, not been much, but we've sorted the changing rooms out. We've always had decent changing rooms as long as I've played there, but they were on the decline slightly, so there's new carpet. The holes from angry batters have been filled in. I think downstairs corridor has been sorted out. The toilets were done midway through last season. So general upkeep of the club. Cricket World are obviously still in there. Then in terms of getting the pitch ready, it's normally something, to be honest, we do a little bit last minute. The volunteers do it consistently, but players jump in near the end. I know the lads are going on this weekend to do any last minute jobs. In terms of events and things like that, we had a race night, we had a function room booked out for months, which is very rare, especially in winter for us. It's not normal that I go home and ask my mum and dad how the club are doing financially, and they actually say, you know what, it's not actually as bad as it normally is.
Yeah.
But obviously a lot of them have been cancelled. We'll talk about that in a bit. And then in terms of the teams, we obviously got a new captain, like I said, Yasser.
Yeah.
We've got a new pro, which I'll talk about again later. And second team, haven't lost any players, still as good, pushing for trophies every year, trying to win the title. And first team, just trying to get out of this second tier, which seems like a bit of a struggle. We've come third, I think, last 3 seasons, so just missing out. But got a good set of young lads. I think average age some weeks, especially if I'm out on holiday, average age is like 24, 25. So yeah, we're all right.
Amal's only 30, if you ask him.
Well, yeah. No one knows how old he is. We've got him in first team. We've got Rami in second team. I think Rami's pushing 60, 70.
Yeah, Rami's easy 70.
Says he's 40.
Aye, all right. So that's the first thing. So a second thing I'm going to ask you is regards to the current situation that we've got, obviously with coronavirus. Sort of how's it impacted on Astley Bridge in terms of a senior impact and a junior impact in terms of cricket?
In terms of cricket, well, like I said, we've got a new pro, which whenever the season starts, none of us will have ever played with him. Like, we obviously know him, but training, the biggest impact for us, I think, so far on the pitch, we like to train quite late in terms of our winter nets. We don't like to have a gap. So we start a lot later than everyone else. So this has meant that instead of having your 6 to 8 weeks winter nets, whatever people have, we've had one, and then it's just been canned. So when the season does start, we'll have 25 lads that have played 1 hour of cricket since September. So obviously that's not great. In terms of our juniors, Amal's done a great job in terms of like getting the numbers back up, basically. Amongst others, he's not the only one, obviously. And we tend to see a trend in terms of obviously decent weather, consistent decent weather and numbers. And if you have a few weeks where it gets cancelled because it's raining, then the numbers dwindle. Obviously, we've had really nice weather and no training to take advantage of the weather. So we are a little bit worried about the numbers of juniors, or I am anyway. It's hard to keep them involved, like other clubs have said.
Obviously, it's a tough one to ask. What sort of things are Astley Bridge and your sort of cricket committee, cricket coaches, what sort of things are you trying to do to sort of try and combat that?
I can't really talk in terms of the juniors. I'm not entirely sure what they're up to. But as a club, I think the most important thing we've tried doing is just staying a club, keeping alive. We've been fortunate enough to work hard on getting grants. We've been successful in getting the small business grant. That's essentially kept us going. I think when I spoke to my dad, between the time of lockdown till the end of July, we're going to miss out on 25 grand in bar takings. So
wow.
The small business, obviously that's not profit, but you know, it's obviously a huge,
still a big chunk of money.
Yeah. In terms of seniors, there's not a lot we can do. There's not a lot we have done. We're all chatting to each other every day. We've probably just upped our game in terms of cricket trivia. It's all that seems to happen on that and some videos that we probably can't go into on this. Yeah, just
trying to keep in touch,
keeping in contact.
Keep everyone, yeah.
In terms of actual cricket, I can't say that we've done much.
It's been a tough one, and I think most of the people I've spoken to have really struggled with it because it happens so fast, and I don't think any of us realised for what sort of period of time it was going to take. It's not something you can put provisions in place. Just say, well, you know,
I remember
we'll do this or we'll do that, and it's been really difficult.
I remember hearing that GMCL had cancelled or postponed the season. And I thought that was such a dramatic move to make, and then obviously a few weeks later, you're into the realms of are we even going to have a season at all?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think that obviously I sit on the exec committee and we've had various sort of meetings, and we'd had a meeting just before the lockdown. So when the lockdown happened, it was like, well, we can't meet, we can't speak. I said, well, don't worry about it. I've got this thing on my laptop called Zoom. So trying to get all the exec committee onto Zoom was a challenge in itself. But
yeah, I bet,
we, to be fair, we've got everyone on there, and we've been able to keep in contact. You know, people like Tracy Brooks, people like Ray Taylor have been looking at the fixtures, how many weeks, how many games can we get in, and just trying to put something meaningful together. So hopefully, if we can get some sort of cricket in, there'll be something for everybody, which is ultimately that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Next question is about professionals. So obviously we mentioned about new professionals. So here's the opportunity to tell us all about it. But my two questions to you are as follows: in terms of professionals and overseas amateurs, tell us a little bit about Astley Bridge's sort of tactic this year. And then secondly, what's the importance of having these professionals in and around our game?
Okay, so this season we have signed Malshan from Tong, off spinner, all rounder. He's a good lad. I think, hopefully, the spin twins of Amal and Malshan will be able to do some damage this season. But I think we're in a unique situation compared to most, that our pro's actually in England and in Bolton. So if and when the season does start, that brings its own questions and decisions that will need to be made. I don't know whether promotion and relegation will be a thing. We don't know if it's going to be a 4-week season, if it's going to be a 12-week season. So we don't know if we're allowed a pro, if none of the other clubs are having a pro. So it's all up in the air a little bit, but we're excited to play with him. He's a good lad. We've had plenty of nights out with him and battles on the pitch. In terms of the importance of them, the best way I think I can explain it is if I'm talking about the league to someone from out of the league, you talk about who's played in the league and you talk about who is currently playing in the league. And you don't talk about your amateurs that are bowling second change or your batters that get you 300 runs a season. You talk about, Bridge talk about Ian Harvey, you talk about all these massive, Matthew Hayden played at Greenman, like these big boys. You got Mendes that was supposed to be playing at Kersley this year. So I think it's brilliant to advertise the league, because I don't think many leagues have as much, place as much importance on it as we do.
Traditionally, we've always had them, haven't we? I mean, obviously, I'm a little bit older than you, and they've all, pros said, I mean, I've done 20 years now. 20 seasons ago, everybody had a top draw pro, and I think as time's gone on, it's become increasingly difficult to keep these professionals coming into the league because a variety of reasons. I mean, one, the money aspect is a huge one. Why are you going to come from Australia to Astley Bridge unless it's with my while? And then there's so many other competitions in and around the world that they can play in. You've got Caribbean Premier League, Australian Premier, they're all over. So, to come to little old Bolton for 20 weeks is very difficult. And that's not just Bolton League clubs, that's Lancashire League clubs, Liverpool Comp, Northern League, GMCL. We're all in the same sort of situation that, regarded as professional leagues with professional cricketers, we've got to have something to offer, and fingers crossed we can continue to do so.
Yeah, I don't know any other sports where you got a village cricketer every week turning up and playing with and against potentially international cricketers.
I've mentioned it a few times, and a few people who I work with, they
don't get it.
No, they don't get it at all. And I say the only way I can describe it is if you went to the park with a football and you started playing football, and then Ronaldo and Messi turned up, that is pretty much how it. And they still don't get it. They still don't get it. But it's very unique in league cricket. We can play with international players. I don't think there's another sport where you can do it.
No, I don't. I honestly don't think there is one.
Which is very unique and good for us, really.
Big time.
Just swiftly moving on, T20 cricket. Just want to ask you a little bit about that. What's Astley Bridge's persona around T20 cricket? How do you see yourselves as a T20 side? And then, secondly, what do you guys as a club want from T20 in the future?
Firstly, I think if you look at the way some of our lads bat on a Saturday, they're made for it. I think, to be honest, for the last 3 years, trying to get 11 first-team lads there on time is an issue. So a lot of our lads that work in Manchester or Wigan or wherever, who finish at 5:30, me included, it's really tough to get to the club for our 6:15.
Yeah.
That being said, we do love playing on Fridays. The club makes an effort, maybe not to the Horwiches of the world with the band and things like that, but our sponsors come down with some food. We've got music on, barbecues. So we do make an effort. I think the importance of it, I think, especially now, if this is all we're going to end up having this season, if we're going to have 2-month season or even less, we've got a chance to go for it in terms of marketing the 2020 competition. I don't see it as just like a club-on-club thing where you promote your own event on your ground. If you make a hype around the whole competition, I think it'd hopefully benefit. The whole country is after live sport. It's at the moment. The Premiership are talking about having playing behind closed doors for the next 12 months.
Yeah.
People are going to be craving live sport. If you can create some hype around this 2020 competition, then who knows? And if we are starting the season later, you can push the season into October maybe, because it's only 2020s.
Yeah,
so
shortened format.
If it's getting darker quicker, it doesn't matter, because you won't be playing by the time it gets dark, because it's a short format.
True.
Yeah, I just think there's an opportunity to go big this season and just see what happens. One thing I think that could change, I get why they put us in the groups that they put us in, to create local rivals. Plus, logistically, you can get to the grounds easier if you work and live around. But if you're playing the same teams every time, it's not quite as good. Like if Horwich are doing this amazing thing where 400, 500 people are turning up, then expose other clubs to it, because I've not seen it, because I'm always playing.
Yeah, of course.
And if 3 different clubs go to Horwich and watch, or play and participate in this big event, then it'll inspire, or it'll create more of those, create more Horwiches, basically.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And every single person I've spoken to so far has always mentioned Horwich, and it's because they do such a good job of it. And I keep banging on. We keep banging on about it, but it's true. They do a fantastic job. But you know, them setting the bar where they've set it is now for us as other clubs to try and emulate and repeat what they're doing.
But if it's only those, say, 3 or 4 clubs that are always in Horwich's group, that are exposed to that and that see that, then they can take note. But
like you said,
maybe not. It's not easy. It's not hard, to just send someone down on a Friday night and go and have a look what they're doing, see if we can get any ideas. But the people that are going to be involved are playing.
Yeah, of course.
I can't go down to Horwich and check it out, but I don't know.
There's obviously
put Bridge in Horwich's group.
Yeah, fair enough. There's an opportunity, obviously, for the league that if we do start later, then this T20 thing that we have could be opened up bigger, and and instead of playing 3 or 4 clubs, we might have two groups of 9. I don't know what the logistics of it is, but there's certainly scope to do. And I hope I don't get shot for this, but we can do what we want this year, because it doesn't matter. Hopefully doing something this year can inspire us for something next year. So fingers crossed that happens.
Yeah.
Just sort of lastly, and again, it's a tough one to answer, but in terms of coronavirus and what it's done for local cricket and local sport, grassroots sport, do you think it'll affect us in future years?
I think in the short term, one thing one of the lads mentioned, I opened the questions out to the group just to see if anyone else had any ideas. One of the lads mentioned, like, just the energy that hopefully it'll give people when we do actually come to play. There's a lot of people that are kind of fed up of playing, or thought they were fed up of playing, or 5 months every Saturday is a big commitment. And I think if a season is 10 weeks or 4 weeks, whatever it is, you can throw yourself into it. You can commit to a training every week. You can commit to a Saturday and maybe a Sunday if it's a double header. And yeah, just hopefully a bit more dedication, a bit more commitment, just from everyone, really. I'm speaking on behalf of all the captains, basically.
We'll have a lot less stick off our missuses. That's the thing.
This is another thing that got raised. I think the other halves are hopefully, for some cases, sick of us. Yeah. They think they want us round every Saturday for the entire day, but maybe if
they don't.
They
certainly don't.
Done it for 10 months, then they might push us out the door with our cricket bags. So yeah, I think that could be a positive. I think financially, obviously, it's going to have a hit on pretty much everyone, every club. Hopefully, like we said, that won't deter people from investing in decent pros.
Yeah.
Personally, I don't think, if clubs don't have much money, I think I'd rather see it spent on a proper class pro that's going to train the kids than a decent pro and then 2 or 3 lads that will get you a couple of hundred runs. If if them boys can't get paid anymore, I don't necessarily see that as a bad thing. I think all the money should go into getting one decent pro and maybe
pro. Yeah.
Overseas. Yeah.
Yeah.
What else have I got on my bullet points? One sec.
You're the first person who's actually had anything wrote down, to be fair. Everyone's just winged it.
I just thought I'll miss something or I'll say something off the cuff that I don't want to say. Yeah, it was just, I think in the long term or general long term, I think there's some decisions that obviously have to be made in terms of next season. Like, I don't know why, but it seems to, especially near us, with the likes of Bradshaw and Heaton, there seems to be a little bit of a exodus, shall we say, and that does kind of need to stop. There's a few worries amongst our fans or players that'll keep happening. You don't want to be left. So yeah, just the general structure needs looking at just for the 2021, and obviously the league can't do much about it until we all know what the situation is with COVID, but just some structure for next season, I think, is.
Well, I can say safely that them conversations have been happening for quite a while now, and it's sort of been not a criticism of mine, but I think sometimes you need to be more brazen and be more open with the plans rather than sort of keeping them in the league. But again, there's pros and cons to both of that, because you can't keep everybody happy. It's impossible. It's an impossibility. But as long as you can keep the majority of people happy and give them something to play for and an offering that's there, then fingers crossed we can carry on doing what we're doing.
Yeah.
Lovely, Dave. Thank you very much for your time. Appreciate you taking a bit of time out to speak to us. That's been David Cryer of Astley Cricket Club. Thanks, Dave.
Cheers.
See you, bud.